HTTP protocol. So let's just look some basic components of HTTP request and the response. So this is the official website of HTTP. I mean the specification, and it tells a lot of academical formal terms. But all we need to know right now for beginners is HTTP is a protocol used for information exchange, right, between the client and server, between servers, and between computers, basically. But we need a server because it's a client-server model. Okay, means that the client need to send a request to the server. The server will respond back a response with a response. So it's also a hypertext transportation. Okay, like transfer protocol means that everything is human readable mostly. Okay, so the header, the body, the status code, everything is text. So it's hypertext in terms of it could contain some hypermedia format, right? Like HTML, right? Like XML. Even we can have a binary format in the body as well. So it's not like a pure text, okay? But we can have links, we can have pictures, images, documents, okay? So in the response and in the request body. Um, so for the request, okay? So for the request, we have the most important part is the header, okay? And also we have a HTTP method, okay? So those are the most important parts. For the HTTP method, we have multiple different methods: get, post, put, delete. Okay, so for the browsers, usually we just use get and post, but for RESTful web services, we use get, post, put, delete options and a patch. Okay, uh, so for the status code, which is in the response, okay, so that is also very important, and also response has body. So all those documents don't have to read it. This is too much. And most importantly, okay, remember we have HTTP request with this kind of different methods, and we have a HTTP response code. Okay, so those are the code that also we need to remember for the interviews. Um, not all the numbers here, okay, but the categories, like 200 is success, 300 is redirection, 400 is the client error, 500 is client server error. Okay, so remember that first, then go to some maybe specific ones like 200 okay, 404 not found. Okay, just try to remember some of them. To look at the HTTP response and request, we can just use this browser. Okay, so use the browser is the easiest way. We can use other tools like Wireshark, but those are a little bit difficult. Okay, for the encrypted version. But for the browser, because it's a client, so that we can get everything from it. Go to the network tab. Okay, so just press F12 or inspect, right click there, and if you are using Firefox or Chrome, if you're using Safari, that's it's called developer tool. Okay, whatever. So go to the network tab, and then you just go to any website. Let's see, we go to our lms.entra.com. We open this website, and then the network will be a lot of them. Okay, there, and who am I? This is the I think this is a blogging thing. Okay. Anyways, so lms.entra.com. This is the first request we send. Okay, so from here, and it's a GET request, right? And then the status code is 200 OK. Okay, and then this is the server's IP address. Um, so this is the header of the request. It's a GET request, so we don't have body. Okay, just GET and then URL. Okay, and the response. Okay, so this is the response header is 200 OK, and then this is the other headers like key value pairs, what kind of server it is, what's the time on the server, what's the type of the content, how big it is, okay, things like that. So basically the header saves all the metadata of the request and the response. Okay, and this is the response body. Okay, so it's a HTML code. Okay, so the HTML contains other links, so that's why we have following requests. The browser will again send the requests to those links to get the elements like pictures, like layout, CSS, JavaScript, so on and so forth. Okay, So it's very simple. It's always follow the request and the response format. Let's see if I click on any button, okay, and it sends another request. Okay, other requests. Each request will have a one response. Okay, so it's always one to one. One request, one response. One request, one response. Okay, so some response is gonna have, let's see, longer, bigger header, right? So like, but it always start with the HTTP version and then the status code. And the request header always start with HTTP method, okay, and then the path, okay, and the header. Header is always key value pair, key value pair, okay, key value pairs. So some of the headers include user information or authorization information, okay, so whether the user logged in or not, things like that. And also we have cookies that is used to track the user information, or the remember me functions, for example, is used with the cookies, okay. So, and also we have a user agent. Okay, so the user agent is used to tell the server what kind of client it is, right? So for me, my browser, it will send my computer information, operating system information, browser information to the server. So the server will reply back some corresponding format, okay, of the page. So all those meta information are saved inside the header of the request. Okay, so even though it's a GET request, but it still have a big head there, right? It's big header there, and the response is also the same thing. And then payload is just one payload. This is the we call it input, right? So we have this different kind of parameters. Okay, FRU equal to true. This is the payload. Response. Okay, so this is the response body sent from the client. From the server to the client. Okay, so this is the message sent from the server. Okay, so it's very easy. Request, response, keep that in mind, and also use developer tools to manipulate or to check the status of your HTTP request response. And we will use this HTTP in the rest of the training for the web applications and web services. So it's very important, and we'll see you next time.